Good morning, everyone. Dr. Victoria Skirbo here, speaking to you from the Seeds of Transformation Healing Center in Wareham, Massachusetts. Today is Tuesday, December 21st, 2021. And today we have the first day of winter here in the Northern Hemisphere and summer in the Southern Hemisphere. So what I thought I would do is I thought we could take a look at the ingress of the sun into Capricorn chart, because it is a chart. These seasonal charts really sort of influence the next 3 months, so the next season. So this influences the months of winter here in the Northern Hemisphere and the months of summer in the Southern Hemisphere. So I thought it would be good just to take a look at the chart and see what's going on. The main thing happening today, excuse me, is the sun's ingress into Capricorn. So let's take a look at that. So what I have here is a chart with a 0-degree Aries ascendant. So this is the chart where all the planets sit in their natural houses. Okay, this is erected for Washington, D.C., and we can look at the Washington, D.C. chart as well, and you'll see that the planets, while they're in the same degrees and have the same relationship with one another, they're going to look different as far as what houses they fall in. So here we have the sun ingressing into Capricorn. Now, Capricorn is activates the world point. The world point are the cardinal cross, 0 degrees of Aries, 0 degrees of Cancer, 0 degrees of Libra, 0, of course, degrees of Capricorn. So this is the start of the winter season for the Northern Hemisphere and the summer season for the Southern Hemisphere. When we look at this chart, when I see the sun ingress into Capricorn, I always look to see what the ruler of Capricorn, which is Saturn, is doing in the chart. And of course, we have Saturn in Aquarius, and where is it? Right here. Saturn is in Aquarius. And of course, it's in a tight square to Uranus, a tight square to Uranus. In fact, this square is going to be exact on Christmas Eve here in the States. And so that last quarter, Crisis in Consciousness square, that has been active all year, and comes to its third exact square on Christmas Eve, is in the energy of that continues well into 2021, 2022, via this chart and the fact that these two planets do get within, I think, a minute of exactitude next year as well. So they never really get out of that square element, although they may not have an exact square like we have on the 24th. And of course, that exact period is the most intense, but the intensity of breaking free, the intensity of questioning authority, the intensity of the people wanting to break free from the constraints that they feel hold them back from their own ability to actuate their lives, is very, very strong. And so, and on the other side of that is the energies that want to hold people back. So there's this energy of wanting to break free, and then there's the energy of holding back. So it is really a crisis produced by these two, by the interaction of these two planets. And these two planets, the synodic cycle between these two planets is about 45 years. And it started in 1988. So we're going all the way back to 1988 with this square. And though in 1988, we had 3 conjunctions of these planets, Saturn and Uranus, and it occurred at the 28th, 29th, and the 30th degree of Sagittarius. So back then, the seed was planted in those last degrees of Sagittarius. And Sagittarius asks us, what do we believe to be true? What is true? What is not true? And so a lot of truth is coming out. A lot of realizations around how things really are is coming out. And of course, there is a need to break free from those things that hold our evolution back, while not really throwing the baby out with the bathwater. So we are in for it, guys. So it's not stopping anytime soon. So we look at that. The other thing I want to mention is that in this chart, we have Pluto in a close conjunction to Venus, and Venus is retrograde. In fact, Venus made a conjunction to Pluto while she was still moving forward, however slowly. And now that she has retrograded, she retrograded on the 19th. So just 2 days ago, she retrograded in Capricorn. She's going to be in Capricorn actually from November 2021 till March of 2022. So for 4 months, she's in Capricorn. Part of that time, she's moving backwards. And of course, Capricorn is the sign of the sun's ingress, right? And of course, we know we've had Pluto in Capricorn for a while now, since 2008. And it has been, turning everything over and showing the shadow side of these large institutions and governmental systems that are possibly, and in many cases, oppressive. So with Venus there, retrograde, we're going to be reconsidering what our values are. And that is something, and that can also bring some monetary distress with this combination as well. So we can almost expect that. We have an almost exact square between Jupiter and Ceres in Taurus, Jupiter in Aquarius, and that Jupiter actually is sitting on the Sibley, the moon of the Sibley chart of America. So there is this sense of expansion of people's feelings, people's emotions within the United States of America. So let's take a look at this chart. I did 2 more of these. Let me see if I can find them here. So this is the same chart. This is, but for Greenwich, England, and Greenwich, England is considered the sort of start. It's where things start when it comes to the different time zones. Greenwich, England is the 0 point. And so we can see that in the case of Greenwich, England, and so this would be associated with, of course, Great Britain, because it's being erected in England, but also for the world in general. And we can see here that the sun is just below the horizon; it has just set. And of course, we still have Uranus, and where is it now? Sorry, where are we? Okay, so here's Saturn. It's still square Uranus. And in the world chart, it's in the 9th house and the 11th house. These are both fixed houses, naturally fixed houses. The 9th house is the house of truth. The 11th house is the house of groups. And so we can see that there will be a lot of, I think, group-oriented, people getting together and protesting what the law of the land, so to speak, Saturn and Aquarius. So it's not just America that this is happening. Of course, if you're not from America, you realize that actually is the case. We also have the moon opposite Pluto and opposite this Venus. That was also in the other chart, of course, because it's the same chart. It's just located in a different place here. And so this is oppositions bring awareness, and that opposition is actually square Eris, the goddess of discord. So there's a lot of realizations that people are making when it comes to those in power and whether they're actually care about the people. And certainly here in the United States, we had a big bitter taste of that with Joe Manchin, the senator from West Virginia, saying that he can't, there's no way he can vote for Build Back Better, even though the rest of the Democrats have been bending over backwards to try to appease him. And the question lies, like, who's the real president here, right? So that's a good question, and that actually may be a question that gets answered in this period of time. Now let's take a look at the America chart, and then we'll be done. Sorry, this has taken so long, but I think it's important because, as I said, it does actually, it is you are dealing with the next 3 months in this chart. So here we have the sun. Now this occurs at like 11 o'clock in the morning today. And so the sun is high in the sky. The 10th house in a mundane chart is the house of the president. And so I believe the president is making an announcement today. He's going to have some sort of some announcement about what's going on. We have Mars conjunct the South Node. So there's still a lot of energy around the past. There's still a lot of energy around the past. And we have Ceres here conjunct the North Node, reaping. There's a sense of reaping what we sowed. Jupiter is square the nodes of the moon, right? And so we're asking what is true and what is not true, right? That's what Jupiter does. The resolution node for this is actually the South Node in Sagittarius, which requires us to go back to the past and see how our beliefs are influencing our direction forward, and whether or not there are some beliefs that need to be released. And here we have Saturn here in the 12th house and Uranus in the 3rd house. This to me in the chart of the United States speaks of hidden enemies and the media. And so there's a lot of influence here in the United States via the media. And I know that Fox News, which is an entertainment station, not a news station, although many people get their news from Fox exclusively, and those propaganda stations like OAN and America something or other, I don't know, first or something, last, America Last. And so there's a giant propaganda war going on, and we're going to have to be aware of that, and figure out how we are going to navigate this. Now, we do have Uranus in a trine to Mercury, which I did not mention in the other charts. It's still there in those charts as well. But this really does stimulate that revolutionary energy. And I think if you know where to look, you can get the information that you need to really find out what's going on. So I think that's what I want to say about this. I hope you have a great day, a great season, and much love to you all, and take care. Happy solstice, everyone.